why we need to be out of the system today.
Well, you need to have a little bit in there because if you have auto bills or whatever, that is still our tool of barter. But more than what you need, you're at risk. You're at risk of a bail-in, which they're definitely setting up for. I mean, allowing the banks and the corporations the tax advantages that they have so that they can ship all those earnings out. And then when things crash, I mean, look what happened with Boeing as the pandemic was unfolding, right? They're huge on stock buybacks. They're huge on massive dividends. And then we taxpayers had to bail them out. So if you hold your wealth inside of the system, whether it's the stock market, mutual funds, ETFs, money markets especially, because we can see that plumbing for the whole financial system is broken, and it's kind of like the little Dutch boy that puts his finger in the dam here, but then also there. And by the time all those fingers are in and their toes are all in and the nose is all in, what happens when that next crack is? And I'd say we probably have right now everything but the nose. Okay, so why would you risk what you have worked for your whole life just because they choose to be risky and dangerous and transfer your wealth? So you need to be out of the system. I mean, it should be pretty obvious to everybody. If it isn't, that's surprising to me. The digital currencies are coming. That's programmable money. That's what it is. Programmable money. Gold money is private and it holds its value over time. The public doesn't need trust in it because it has the broadest base of market. Fiat money, dollar government money, is private if you hold it physically outside of the system, but they still control its value. Programmable money, boy, short term, they can do any darn thing they want to it. You're not spending enough? Okay, we will push those rates negative. You will watch your principal erode and you will go spend it. You will do what we say because we can make it disappear with the push of a button. We vote with our pocketbooks. So if the public does not use it, that's why they're giving it away in China and any of the tests. How are they testing it? They're giving it to people. Here, go spend this. Now we'll tell you where you can spend it. We'll tell you how long you have to spend it, and we'll tell you what to spend it on, but we're just going to give you this. And that's the way, that's really how I think they're going to formally introduce UBI, Universal Basic Income, because if it's given to you, you are more likely to use it. And they don't want pushback. From me personally, well, if it's UBI, that means even I get some of that garbage. And if I have a choice, what'll I do? I'll either leave it there or I'll convert it into gold and physical gold and silver and take it out of the system, if that's my option. I mean, if I have the option to do that.
Right. And I was asking, other experts this as well, if there's more incentive that you need to get out of the system now before we see digital currencies, if you want gold and silver or if you want cryptos, because then if I'm buying gold and silver with the digital currency, well, there goes complete transparency and privacy. And
the statement that you just made, do it now, makes so much sense because even the mint can't get the silver blanks. Even the silver ETF can't create silver baskets. And yet we still have spot silver at 27, 28 bucks an ounce. Makes absolutely zero sense in any kind of free market world. Same thing with gold, with governments buying up gold, with other governments not allowing it to be exported. And yet we still have it, 1,900 bucks-ish, give or take a little bit. And I think people are starting to wake up to this reality and going, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. It hasn't made sense to me in a very long time. I believe we're at the melt up part of the cycle where the only option for central banks is just more of the same. They cannot raise rates, even though they're talking about raising rates. Well, they're thinking
Yeah.
about thinking about it. They're going to buy fewer government bonds somewhere in the future, but they're going to go at a glacial pace. They're going to go super slow so the markets don't freak out. Yeah, the markets are in melt-up phase. They're all up at nosebleeds level, and so are the markets. So are the stock market. I mean, actually, they should be higher than this for what they're doing. So they're struggling a bit, but yeah, I think we're in the final melt-up phase. I'm going to wait and see who survives it, and then rather than jumping in with 2 feet, I am going to convert my gold as I need to execute the rest of my strategy.
And I know from past convos, you like physical.
No doubt, in any form.
In any form. And what are your thoughts on where the physical should be held? Are you a fan of holding out outside of the United States?
I think you need to have easy access to it, or at least reasonable access to it. So I hold mine in a vault here in Phoenix. I would frankly, I used to hold it in my home before I went on YouTube. But once that happened, then I no longer felt comfortable with that. So I can walk to my vault and I can get it. So I think you should also hold it in a diversified way. You've got your barterable stash, so that'll ensure that you can put that gallon of gas in your car if you need to, or pay your property taxes, which is a big thing, as you need to. And then you have your wealth preservation and growth gold that I hold separately, and that's for converting into opportunities as we're going through the reset.